Hello everybody, this is PP. I am going to discuss the topic major intra and extracellular electrolyte. So, first of all, the introduction. Human body is made up of bone, flesh and blood. Almost 99% mass of it composed of six elements, that is oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium and phosphorus. Only about 0.8 0.85% is composed of another five elements, that are potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine and magnesium. Water content is the major part of human body that ranges from 50 to 70%, which contains both organic as well as inorganic materials. Classification of body fluid or water content. First of all, intracellular fluid, that is 45 to 50%. Major content is potassium, magnesium and hydrogen phosphate. Next, interstitial fluid, that is of 12 to 15% and the content is varying. Next, extracellular fluid, that is 4 to 5%, and here the interstitial fluid, plasma fluid, vascular fluid and transcellular fluid are collectively called extracellular fluid, and the major content is sodium ion and chlorine ion. Body fluid compartments of a 70 kg adult man. The total volume is 42 liter, which is 60% of body weight. So it is divided into two parts, that is intracellular fluid compartment and extracellular fluid compartment. Intracellular fluid compartment contains 28 liter and extracellular fluid compartment contains 14 liter. Once again, extracellular fluid compartment divided into two parts, intravascular fluid and extravascular fluid. For intravascular fluid it is 3 liter, for extravascular fluid it is 11 liter. Further, extravascular fluid can be divided into two parts, that is interstitial fluid and transcellular fluid. The interstitial fluid contains 10 liter and transcellular fluid 0.5 liter. Loss of water. So, the loss of water causes dehydration. Why? That is for excessive urination in case of diabetic acidosis or by taking diuretics. Excessive perspiration due to loss of fluid by skin burn. It, it is due to insufficient intake of water and due to heavy exercise and sweating and due to high temperature condition and due to diarrhea or vomiting and due to blood loss during accident. Next is chronic nephritis. The health conditions due to water loss. Dehydration can cause hypernatremia, that is high level of sodium ions in blood, and is distinct from hypovolemia, that is loss of blood volume, particularly blood plasma. The hallmark of dehydration include thirst and neurological changes such as, you can see this, headache, general discomfort and loss of appetite. Furthermore, decrease in urine volume, that is polyuria, confusion, explained tiredness, purple fingernails and seizures. Seizure means sudden uncontrolled disturbances in the brain. So next one is electrolyte. Electrolytes dissociate into ions, that is NaCl it gives when dissociates Na plus Cl minus. So Na plus is, and Cl minus are the ions, and very abundant in both ICF and ACF, intracellular fluid and electrocellular fluid. Ions carry either a positive charge, that is cation, or a negative charge, that is anion. Electrolyte balance is essential for normal physiologic function and is closely linked with fluid balance. Most electrolytes interact with hydrogen ions to maintain acid-base balance. Electrolyte balance must be kept within a narrow range to maintain homeostasis. Next is the electrolyte. You can see in this table the here extracellular fluid. The cations are sodium, potassium, and calcium and magnesium. Here for intracellular fluid, the cations are potassium, magnesium, and sodium. For extracellular fluid, the anions are chloride, bicarbonate, phosphate, and sulfate. Here for intracellular fluid, the anions are phosphates and sulfates and also bicarbonate. You can notice in this figure the sodium content here for extracellular fluid not same as intracellular fluid. So here extracellular fluid sodium content is high, for intracellular fluid sodium content is less. Also here another term potassium, that is here 5 milli equivalent per liter. For intracellular fluid that is 150 equivalent per liter. So it is varying according to their requirements. Then why electrolyte? Electrolyte is important for the maintenance of precise osmotic gradient of cell. Electrolyte balance is maintained by oral route. In emergencies, electrolyte is given through intravenously by that is by blood or by blood vessels and is regulated by hormones. Electrolyte activity facilitates the activity of muscle and neurons. Ingredients of electrolyte affect and regulate the hydration of body as well as blood pH as well as ionic balance. So it maintains blood pH, ionic balance and hydration. Electrolyte essential for nerve and muscle function. Electrolyte may enter or leave the cell membrane through specialized protein structure which is embedded in the plasma membrane, that is called ion channels. For example, muscle contraction is dependent upon the presence of calcium, sodium and potassium ions. Function of sodium: transmission and conduction of nerve impulses, responsible for osmolarity of vascular fluid, regulation of body fluid. Sodium shifts into cell and potassium shifts out of the cell, that is caused by sodium pump. Next, assists with regulation of acid base balance by combining with chlorine or bicarbonate to regulate the balance. The next one is function of chloride, that is chloride found in electrocellular fluid changes the serum osmolarity, goes with sodium in retention of water, assists with regulation of acid base balance. Chlorine combines with hydrogen to form HCl in the stomach. So HCl formed by chlorine and hydrogen. Next is function of potassium. Potassium is most abundant cation in the body cells. 97% is found in intracellular fluid, plentiful in the GIT. Normal extracellular potassium is 3.5 to 5.3. Serum potassium level below 2.5 above 7.5 can cause cardiac arrest. So this is the main cause of cardiac arrest. 80 to 90% is excreted through the kidney. Then functions of potassium: it promotes conduction and transmission of nerve impulses. Then next is contraction of muscle. promotes enzyme action, assists in the maintenance of acid-base balance, and also the food sources you can get the potassium in veggies, fruits, nuts, and meat. Then function of calcium. About 99% of body calcium found in bones and the remaining is present in electrocellular fluid. It is important for blood clotting and contraction of various smooth muscles. In cardiovascular system, calcium is essential for contraction, coupling in cardiac muscle, as well as the conduction of electric impulse in certain region of heart. It plays a role in maintaining the integrity of mucosal membrane, cell adhesion and function of the individual cell membrane as well. The next one is function of phosphate. It is principal anion, that is negative ion in electrocellular fluid compartment. Inorganic phosphate in plasma is mainly in two forms, that is hydrogen phosphate and this is dihydrogen phosphate. The concentration of hydrogen phosphate is 1.05 millimole per liter and the concentration of dihydrogen phosphate is 0.26 millimole per liter. Phosphate is essential for proper metabolism of calcium, normal bone and teeth development. Hydrogen phosphate and dihydrogen phosphate makes an important buffer system of body. Function of bicarbonate. In extracellular fluid, bicarbonate is the second prevalent anion along with bicarbonic acid and acts as most important buffer system. Reduction of hydrogen ion concentration fails the reabsorption of bicarbonate and increase the excretion of bicarbonate takes place and cause alkalosis. Under normal condition, bicarbonate ion reabsorbed from the tubule and conserve the primary buffer system of the extracellular fluid. The next is function of magnesium. It is found in intracellular fluid. It contributes to many enzymatic and metabolic processes, particularly protein synthesis. Significant role in impulse transmission and involves in neuromuscular and skeletal-muscular responses like action, potential conduction, bone and teeth production. It functions in sodium-potassium pump as an aid to the action of enzyme. Then next is what is an electrolyte imbalance? There are many causes for an electrolyte imbalance and causes for an electrolyte imbalance may include first one loss of body fluid from prolonged vomiting, diarrhea, sweating or high fever. Malabsorption. Body may be unable to absorb electrolytes due to variety of stomach disorders, medications or maybe how food is taken in. Due to hormonal or endocrine disorders and kidney disease. A complication of chemotherapy is tumor lysis syndrome. This occurs when your body breaks down tumor cells rapidly after chemotherapy, such as causing a low blood calcium level, high blood potassium level. Certain medications may cause an electrolyte imbalance such as chemotherapy drugs, that is cisplatin, diuretics, furosemide or bumetanide, antibiotics, amphotericin B, corticosteroid, hydrocortisone. So these drugs can cause electrolyte imbalance. Symptoms of electrolyte imbalance. As desired, an electrolyte imbalance may create a number of symptoms. The symptoms of electrolyte imbalance are based on which of the electrolyte level are affected. So that are different. First one is alteration of potassium, magnesium, sodium, calcium level causes muscle spasm, weakness, twitching, or convulsions. Next one is low level of electrolyte may lead to irregular heartbeat, confusion, blood pressure changes or change in blood pressure, nervous system or bone disorder. Then what happens in high level? High levels may lead to weakness or twitching of muscles, numbness, fatigue, irregular heartbeat, change in blood pressure. Here, this is described oral rehydration salt. A large number of formulations of oral rehydration preparations are available in market, which contains anhydrous glucose, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, and either sodium bicarbonate or sodium citrate. You can see this here sodium chloride. These three formulas are there according to their uh, requirement. For sodium chloride, formula 1 1.0 gram, formula 2 3.5 gram, formula 3 3.5 gram. So also here the content here written potassium for potassium chloride, sodium bicarbonate, sodium citrate, anhydrous glucose or glucose. So this oral rehydration salt is medically helpful in whether changes in blood pressure, nervous system disorder, excessive tiredness, convulsions, numbness, irregular heartbeat, bone disorder, muscle spasm, weakness, twitching, convulsions, confusion, and seizures. You should have to go for dictionary, medical dictionary for further clarification. Then revision. Sodium ion most abundant electrolyte in the body and it regulates osmotic gradient, osmosis, heart function and cell membrane. Chlorine regulates osmotic pressure and assists in regulating acid-base balance. Calcium usually combined with phosphorus to form the mineral salt of bone and teeth, promotes nerve impulses and muscle contraction relaxation. Potassium essential for normal membrane excitability for nerve impulses. Magnesium plays a role in carbohydrate and protein metabolism, storage and use of intracellular energy and neural transmission. Important in the functioning of heart, nerves and muscles. So here some important terms and some simple definitions. So this is interstitial fluid. Interstitial fluid is the fluid that directly bathes the cell and tissues in the body. It is generally about 75% of the volume of electrocellular fluid, that is 10.5 liter. Then next is intracellular fluid. First one is interstitial fluid. Next one is intracellular fluid, which is the fluid that is present in the cytoplasm of all cells of the body. The intracellular fluid is separated from the extracellular fluid by the cell plasma membrane. Okay. Approximately 33% of the total body is in the extracellular fluid compartment. Therefore, the volume of extracellular fluid is 14 liter and is further subdivided into the intravascular compartment and extravascular compartment. Okay. The next one is important transcellular fluid. The transcellular fluid is found in small amounts in different body regions. In total, comprises a very small portion. The fluid is generally separated from the plasma by an additional epithelial layer in addition to the capillary endothelium. So, these intracellular fluid are cerebrospinal fluid, intraocular fluid, inner ear fluid, pericardial fluid, peritoneal fluid, and synovial fluid. Okay. These are three things: isotonic, hypertonic, and hypotonic. So kindly read this. I am giving 10 seconds for this. Okay, you can go through dictionary for further definitions. Okay, best of luck. Thank you.